The tile that I make is a hand-painted, hand-glazed ceramic decorative tile. So most applications are for backsplashes, for bathrooms and that sort of thing. Really my specialty, or sometimes I call it my superpower, is being able to adapt patterns to specific existing sites where you can't really find a tile that's going to work exactly mathematically. And so I can design custom into it and cut everything to fit and design the pattern so it doesn't look like it's cut. I started out, I was a textile designer in San Francisco. I was exposed to a lot of different design surfaces. Of the various surface applications, tile was a really nice, earthy, solid material to work with and very satisfying in terms of the color. I'm very much a hands-on person. In fact, if my hands are not busy, there's trouble in the world. Let's say I get an order, I take the tile out and I start the process of screening the pattern. I will silk screen the wax resist onto the tile and then allow that to dry. And then that has to dry overnight. And then I can apply the glaze, and I use these bottles from a hair dyeing company. It's a little bit like a coloring book, and every glaze has its own personality. So a big piece of this is getting to be familiar with the glazes, and then sometimes you need to reintroduce new glazes, and it really is like introducing a whole new family, if you will, to learn their characteristics. For me, the most satisfying part of this, or the most exciting certainly, is opening the kiln, and sometimes I'm anticipating it so much that I open it, when it's really hot. I have to hold myself back, sort of peeking in, try to see what's going on. But yeah, to be able to unload the kiln and lay out the tile is really very exciting. I would say the most difficult part of the process is doing the very customized work, where custom cut, custom color, and then to get this overall variation to be harmonious. I guess harmonious is a better word than consistent, because you want it to harmonize. A lot of times the most challenging part is being patient with the alchemy, because the alchemy is the magic. It's that relationship between the glaze, the alchemy of the glaze, and the material that we're working with that creates the beauty, creates the variation, creates the color, creates the art. I feel like the more I do this, the more I make art. I'm a painter also. The more I realize it's an allowing of myself to be a vessel to express itself. And you have to have the passion and be willing to make mistakes and be willing to try it and experiment and do things that are outside the box. Opening the kiln every time is sort of it can be a new experience. And so sometimes it's disappointing, but mostly it's thrilling.